Hello everyone, and welcome to the Honors in Action project of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, Beta Mu Alpha Chapter in Orange Coast College. My name is Sierra Sunset Leffers, and I shall proudly present our research project, a collaborative effort which spanned 2 months. Shall we begin? So what is the Honors in Action project anyway? The Honors in Action project is a research project which encompasses a general theme provided by Phi Theta Kappa, then narrowed to a specific discipline, such as economics, geography, education, etc., and then focused on a unique question or statement selected by each chapter. Once the specific question has been selected for examination, the project is conducted by members of each chapter in a collaborative effort that helps build leadership and scholarship skills for everyone involved. The overarching theme provided is the culture of competition, and this presentation shall summarize our research project, the link to which is included in the description of this video. Our chapter selected Theme 6, Food Fight, Competition and Food, with a specific focus regarding how competing ideas of beauty affect food choices and how this differs throughout the world. Our heterogeneous chapter selected this theme to better understand our community within the context of the various competing cultural perspectives and the resulting food choices that our internationally diverse student body naturally experience on a daily basis. We present to you a brief summary of our research project, which examines beauty-based competition regarding marriage and wealth in developed and undeveloped countries. The results from a survey of 180 sampled we conducted on campus and online for 2 weeks, and an interview with a professionally licensed dietitian currently working for Orange Coast Memorial Care Center. Our aim is to express the information collected and to raise awareness of the competing perceptions of beauty across the world and the impact of such perceptions on our food choices. Our survey began with a request for each participant to identify his or her ideal body type between endomorph, described as large or well-rounded, ectomorph, described as thin or willowy, and mesomorph, described as athletic or curvy. As our survey indicates, 51% preferred mesomorph, 48% preferred ectomorph, and only 1% preferred endomorph body types. Our survey shows 99% of participants believe the ideal body type to be either skinny or athletic, and this statistic signifies the norm for beauty in our society's perception. Next, the survey questioned the level of importance each participant felt towards attaining his or her ideal body type. As you can see from the representative chart, not a single participant indicated attaining his or her ideal body type was not important. However, when questioned as to why the participants felt it was important, the responses were slightly more varied. More than half said it was because it would make them happy, followed by 20% who said it would help them attain what they want. And only 15% of the people taking the survey acknowledged the health benefit of pursuing their ideal body type. When asked about what food choices the participants felt would help achieve the ideal body type, the majority believed vegetables, fruit, high-protein, non-fried, and whole-grain foods ought to be pursued. Though we can see an absence of fattening foods like soft drinks and high-carbonated food from what the participants believe they should eat to attain their ideal body type, when asked about food choices, 93% responded that they did not avoid eating any foods at all, and 73% indicated that they do not actually pursue any specific foods to attain their ideal body type as well. Our survey results indicate that even in our culturally diverse student body, and with 180 sampled, most students held similar views on ideal body types, which foods would most likely result in attaining said goal, and were still consistent in not knowingly pursuing or avoiding any foods to attain said beauty goal. Our research paper details that in most developed countries, people are inundated with media that depicts the suggested ideal body type and presentation mainly through fashion models and celebrities, and the belief that only through one's attainment of that ideal in presentation can one find a suitable marriage partner. Sarah Musgrave, accountant director of global advertising agency Saatchi & Saatchi in London, confirms the competitive aspect of beauty regarding marriage. Quote, "Skinniness has become the most accepted archetype of beauty. It is Darwinism that the most beautiful get the mates, survival of the fittest, and if we want to ensure our survival, we must be appealing." End quote. Such perception puts pressure on most people, which in turn affects their conscious decisions about food and exercise, in order to attain that presentable appearance as seen on TV. The increase in number of gyms, fitness center, weight clinics, juice cleanses, supplements, and weight programs in America and abroad also reflect our demand to be thin. But such perceptions of beauty differ in developing countries where food is scarce and not something to avoid. In Mauritania, for example, people believe that an overweight body is bewitching. According to BBC News, the common perception is that a voluptuous figure, especially female, is ultimately desirable since corpulence is a sign of wealth. Compared to developed countries, this polar opposite perception is interesting because it has a similar effect. People act in accordance with what they feel is beautiful, and in Mauritania, where fat is for the elite, fat farms can help one put on those desired pounds. To become a marriageable woman, young girls are often sent to these fat farms by their families to, well, you guessed it, fatten up. According to The Guardian, the typical diet in these farms for a 6-year-old girl includes 2 kilos of pounded millet, mixed with 2 cups of butter, as well as 20 liters of camel's milk. In recent years, being thin has begun to signify wealth in the United States. According to Bloomberg, many people spend on average $28,000 on initial bariatric surgery for little to no health benefits. It is astonishing to reflect that 80 years ago, only poor people were generally skinny and the wealthier people had broader figures, never more than ever as during the Great Depression. Though there are many theories as to what prompted this shift in popular perception, an economic-based theory points to the United States subsidy of corn, which makes corn syrup a major ingredient in many internationally and domestically consumed goods, such as sodas and other inexpensive yet innutritious foods, which ultimately led to the drop in prices of said foods, thus making them more accessible to low-income households. Regardless of which theory may be most accurate, the paradigm shift within the United States leads us to the conclusion that the ideal body type is relative not only between cultures, but also between different periods in time and wealth. The competing viewpoint in undeveloped countries is eloquently described by psychologist Esther Rothblum, who stated that, in developing countries, the major causes of death are malnutrition, and therefore increased body weight is associated with health and wealth. The need to be fat becomes a health problem for some who take it to extremes, but even with the risk of dying, people still want to be fat to avoid being considered poor. Finally, we went to Orange Coast Memorial Care Center to consult with an expert in the field. We contacted specialist Sylvie Borishdal, clinical dietitian supervisor, to ask for her viewpoint regarding the topic of food choices and types of diet that she has encountered in her career. Our interview resulted in 3 main ideas. 1. That perceptions matter. For example, anorexic patients hardly eat anything, yet still think that they are overweight. 2. The general public is paying less attention to their diet than they should, especially for health purposes. And 3. That diets should be geared towards balancing nutrition intake for a healthy lifestyle. And in conclusion, the research paper, survey, and interview show that competition between what one wants to eat versus what one wants to look like is relative to geography, culture, wealth, and time in history. Additionally, perceptions are important because behavioral decisions, such as food choices, generally reflect perceptions of beauty. However, both our survey results and our expert interviewed stress the ever-present disassociation with what people think they should do and what they actually do. We hope this presentation has been enlightening to you in some small way, and we graciously thank you for your time.